my Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, Assembly Member, Councillors, Brigadier, Air Commodore, Chairman and Chief Executive, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lord Lieutenant's Award Ceremony for Powys. And this year I'm delighted to host this in the virtual space. Throughout the year, reservists in Wales provided valuable support to our regular armed forces, both at home, on operational duties and in their local communities. Our cadets, whether they be from the Sea Cadet Corps, the Army Cadet Force, the Royal Air Force Air Cadets, or Combined Cadet Force, grow and develop into responsible and confident young citizens, achieving enormous training and sporting success, as well as providing support to their communities through many varied activities. These endeavours help maintain the good name of the armed forces in Wales. And finally, our adult volunteers, who devote time, energy and effort that is truly humbling to ensure that our cadets gain maximum benefit from what, for many, can be life-changing experiences in preparation for their adult life. The awards ceremonies, held annually by the Lord Lieutenants of Wales, are an opportunity for deserving individuals to be publicly recognised within the community in which they live and serve for their contribution to the reserves and cadet forces. This evening, Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Powys will be making the following presentations. The Lord Lieutenant's Certificate of Merit, the Lord Lieutenant's Cadet Certificate and Lord Lieutenant's Badge for 2020, and the Lord Lieutenant's Cadet Appointments for 2021. The Lord Lieutenant's Certificate of Merit. The Lord Lieutenant's Certificate of Merit records the Lord Lieutenant's gratitude and recognition for outstanding service and devotion to duty. This year, the certificate is awarded to Staff Sergeant Instructor James Davey from Gwent and Powys Army Cadet Force. Staff Sergeant Instructor James Davey. Staff Sergeant Instructor James Davey has been involved with the Army Cadet Force since 2007, firstly as a cadet, then continuing his service as an adult volunteer. James currently holds the position of Detachment Instructor within the Gurnos Detachment, as well as the Shooting and Public Relations Officer appointments for B Company. During his time as a Cadet Force adult volunteer, he has shown dedication and commitment throughout, not only at a detachment level, but also by supporting company and county events. James has a great interest in shooting, and when he took on the company shooting representative role, he demonstrated that not only was he extremely keen that the cadets get every opportunity possible, but he also introduced them to new competitions that had not been previously available to them, thus providing the cadets with very valuable lessons during their practice sessions and enthusing cadets to progress through the shooting syllabus and to compete with other cadets in units throughout the United Kingdom. Staff Sergeant Davey also produced a very impressive shooting plan for the company which demonstrated that he has a sound knowledge of the cadet training syllabus whilst using the adult volunteers' skill sets to develop others. James has been an extremely valuable asset to the company in his role as Company Public Relations Officer, and has shown a clear understanding of the correct chain of command process when answering queries and forwarding information. He has gone above and beyond the requirement to identify potential sources of information and assistance for detachments and ensured that detachment commanders are constantly kept informed. During the COVID-19 pandemic, he has been a key player in organising the virtual training as well as arranging extremely interesting external guest speakers. As a detachment instructor within the Gurnos Detachment, James has also stepped in as the detachment commander for a period at very short notice, taking on this role in its entirety and ensuring that the cadets' best interest remains at the forefront of the detachment. Outside of the Army Cadet Force, James commutes a fair distance to work. He's employed by the MOD as a trials data technician and lead engineer for high-speed data acquisition and accredited information systems. James is also studying part-time for a HNC in electronic engineering and is on his way to becoming a chartered engineer. And prior to the coronavirus pandemic, James was a STEM ambassador for an outreach project. Staff Sergeant Instructor James Davey is regarded in every respect as a credit to Gwent and Powys Army Cadet Force, and this evening is highly recommended for the award of the Lord Lieutenant Certificate of Merit for Powys. The Lord Lieutenant's Cadet Certificate and Badge for 2020. The Lord Lieutenant's Cadet Certificate and Badge are awarded to members of the cadet forces in recognition of their individual cadet performance during the previous year in support of the Lord Lieutenant. This year, for their performance during 2020, the Lord Lieutenant of Powys's Cadet Certificate and Badge are awarded to Cadet Sergeant Major Sally Merton Davis from Gwent and Powys Army Cadet Force, Cadet Sergeant Major Holly Vincentelli from Gwent and Powys Army Cadet Force, and Cadet Flight Sergeant Benjamin Gilmore from No. 2 Welsh Wing RAF Air Cadets. The Lord Lieutenant's Cadet Appointment for 2021. The Lord Lieutenant has a number of cadets each year nominated by the Sea Cadet Corps, the Army Cadet Force, the RAF Air Cadets and the Combined Cadet Force. Cadets are nominated for their outstanding contribution to their respective cadet units, and the cadet will support the Lord Lieutenant on special occasions such as royal visits, remembrance parades and civic events. The Lord Lieutenant's cadets appointed for Powys for this year of 2021 are Cadet Sergeant Lucy Vermeer. Cadet Sergeant Lucy Vermeer joined Coulter Gotland Detachment in October 2016. She is currently studying BTEC Level 3 Sports and Welsh Baccalaureate at Crickhowell High School. On completion of her studying, she will be applying for an apprenticeship with an outdoor activity centre to further her education and gain work experience. Lucy spends her non-cadet time studying, working in a part-time job at the local chip shop and attending motorcycle events with her family. During her tenure as a cadet, Lucy has completed the 3-star level within the Army Cadet Force Proficiency Certificate syllabus and is now working towards her 4-star award. She completed the Junior Cadet Instructor course in August 2018 and is due to attend her Senior Cadet Instructor's course in February 2021, with the intention of attending a Master Cadet course later in the year. As a Senior Cadet, Lucy consistently presents herself well. Her uniform is always immaculately pressed and her boots clean and polished. She is truly a role model to the younger cadets in the detachment and the company. Lucy can be relied upon to attend the detachment and delivers a class of junior cadets training at basic and 1-star level. During the pandemic, she has shown great enthusiasm and commitment to the Army Cadet Force by attending virtual training and on some occasions providing the training with the other senior cadets. One of the innovative lessons that she has delivered with the other senior cadets was based around a walk outdoors and took the form of an excellent training video which covered navigation skills, cooking and basic campcraft. Lucy is a highly committed cadet. She attends nearly every training weekend possible and enjoys all aspects of the cadet training syllabus, together with all the additional vocational courses that the Army Cadet Force has to offer. She's also volunteered her time to assist with training on the junior training camps at Coulter Gotland Training Camp. Lucy has completed her Bronze and Silver Duke of Edinburgh Awards and is currently working towards the Gold Award. Her aspirations, whilst in the Army Cadet Force, are to complete the 4-star Master Cadet qualification and to gain her Gold Duke of Edinburgh Award. Cadet Sergeant Lucy Vermeer is a great ambassador for the Gwent and Powys Army Cadet Force, and indeed the Army Cadet Force as a whole, and as such is this evening strongly recommended for the appointment of Lord Lieutenant's Cadet for Powys in 2021. Cadet Flight Sergeant Cerys Ball, Number 2 Welsh Wing, RAF Air Cadets. Cadet Flight Sergeant Cerys Ball has been a member of 579 Squadron, Llandrindod Wells, Royal Air Force Air Cadets for 5 years. From the start, it was obvious that she was going to be an outstanding cadet. Her enthusiasm and dedication have been exemplary. Cerys attended her first regional camp as a 12-year-old and was awarded Outstanding New Cadet, and from there she continues to be at the front of the queue to maintain enthusiasm and endeavour, passing her training syllabus exams and progressing through the cadet rank structure. When the unit was affected by the current pandemic, she was determined and committed to help the staff deliver virtual training via virtual parade nights. She can be described as a mainstay of these digital events. Cerys rallies the cadets to attend and engages wholeheartedly, setting a fine example as a cadet non-commissioned officer within the squadron. Cerys is always smartly turned out and punctual. She strives to be a role model for younger cadets, and in this role she is well liked and respected by her peers, who naturally look up to her. Although still young, Cerys excels in her role as one of the senior squadron non-commissioned officers, who will no doubt progress further through the cadet ranks as time moves forward. She has completed the Instructor cadet training syllabus and is awaiting assessment once face-to-face training resumes. Cerys enjoys a wide range of sport and has represented the squadron, wing and region in netball, hockey, athletics, swimming and cross-country. She has taken part in shooting events, adventurous training and fieldcraft, where she is always willing to help younger cadets and leads by example. For the 12 months prior to the current pandemic, Cerys led the wing leadership team for the first time at the Regional Activity Day, excelling beyond their own high standards and returning with a gold medal for the wing. During her time as a cadet, she has attended a variety of camps, including specialist camps for drill and ceremonial, a multi-activity camp and a National Aerospace Camp, gaining awards and experience along that journey. Road marching is something of a passion for Cerys, who is due to undertake the Nijmegen March in 2020. Although delayed, she rallied and undertook a solo virtual march by completing an hour a day to total the distance of the event. As a senior cadet, she has taken on responsibilities willingly and pushes herself to do her utmost to achieve the highest standards on behalf of the squadron and the RAF Air Cadet organisation. Cadet Flight Sergeant Cerys Ball is an exemplary ambassador for the Air Cadet organisation and is highly recommended for the appointment of the Lord Lieutenant's Cadet for Powys for 2021. My Lord Lieutenant, that concludes the award ceremony this evening. May I please now invite you to say a few words.
Noswaith dda, mae'n ddrwg iawn gen I dwi'n methu bod yn byw efo chi heno, ond falch iawn I wneud o fel mae hi. This is a very important event in the Lieutenancy calendar, representing one of 8 Lord Lieutenants in Wales. I must say how delighted I am to present the awards tonight. I understand and appreciate the significance of these occasions. The importance of such awards cannot be underestimated, as the world in which we live in moves so fast, and often those who give so much are sometimes missed out. So much has to change because of this pandemic, but it is a testimony to man's ingenuity that the awards can be given tonight, despite not being allowed to hold a physical event. Tonight presents that opportunity to reward a few who have found the time to give something back to society and to serve their community. Equally, the occasion demonstrates to us the very best dedication and commitment by those who serve in our Royal Forces and Cadet Force family. Today, our reserve forces have a hugely important role to play in the defence of our country. They have demonstrated so much commitment and dedication supporting their regular counterparts, especially earlier in the millennium. They are part of our communities and we are very proud of them. Despite the changes to the way they operate, they remain committed to serving the country in their spare time as volunteers. We are most fortunate in having such fine part-time soldiers, sailors and airmen. And it is interesting to note that approximately 100 reservists were mobilised last year to support training teams and exercises abroad, as well as backfilling gaps within regular forces at home. In addition, a further 200 reservists in Wales were mobilised to support the fight against COVID-19 by supporting operation rooms, driving ambulances, deep cleaning ambulances and supporting testing. We should also acknowledge the considerable effort and endeavour by all our servicemen and women. Their contribution to society is invaluable. Likewise, the Cadet Forces are truly amazing organisations where the mixture of military training, youth work, civilian qualifications and community work helps develop our young people ready to take their place in society. They too deserve our full support. Of course, the success of the Cadet Forces is not only down to the young people themselves. The Cadet Forces would not operate but for the superb dedication and commitment of the officers and adult volunteers who give up their free time to make the organisations work. In the very strange circumstances that we find ourselves in, I should pay tribute to the ingenuity of many Cadet Forces adults who have developed online training using virtual space. It has been hugely successful. They deserve our sincere thanks to all their sterling contribution. I also wish to thank the guests here tonight for finding the time to join us and hear of the excellent accomplishments of the reserves and cadets. And I would also like to make a special thank you to you, the parents, for your continued support and commitment. The numbers attending tonight's ceremony demonstrate your enthusiasm and dedication to your young people and support for the cadet movement. Thank you all for doing what you are doing. We are so grateful for your support. My final thanks also go to the Reserves Forces and Cadets Association for Wales for organising the evening. Before I finish, I would like to congratulate all those who have received awards here tonight once more. Llongyfarchiadau I chi I gyd.